Welcome once again to this lecture series in Chemical Reaction Engineering 2. Today we'll start with the new topic, that is non-isothermal reactor design. So we'll study steady state non-isothermal reactor design, the energy balance equations, non-isothermal continuous flow reactors, that is CSTR and PFR. Then we'll see equilibrium conversion, adiabatic and non-adiabatic operations of these reactors, and finally we will see the multiplicity of steady state or multiple steady state. So this is CSTR, and we know that although isothermal conditions are most useful for the measurement of kinetic data, real reactors normally operate under non-isothermal conditions. Within the limit of heat exchange, the reactor can operate isothermally, that means maximum heat exchange. So most of the reactions will be exothermic or endothermic, and heat will be evolved or absorbed, and accordingly we have to remove the heat or supply the heat. So to maintain the isothermal conditions, we'll have maximum heat exchange in the form of either heat removal in case of exothermic reactions or heat supply in case of endothermic reactions. So these reactors will operate isothermally or adiabatically with no heat exchange. So heat will not be removed, neither it will be supplied, and depending on the heat of reaction, the temperature will rise or fall or keep on changing, and we will have non-isothermal conditions. Between these bounds, that is maximum heat exchange and no heat exchange of heat transfer, lies the most common form of reactor operation, that is non-isothermal regime. So some extent of heat exchange. If the reactor is operated at non-isothermal or adiabatic conditions, then the material balance equation must be written with temperature T as a variable. So for adiabatic operations, we will have this heat flow term Q will be 0, and for non-adiabatic operation, this term will be non-zero. So in adiabatic operation, we are neither supplying the heat nor removing the heat, and here there are both possibilities. So Q not equal to 0. So we'll see both adiabatic and non-adiabatic operations. Now for this non-isothermal reactor conditions, in order to design a reactor or to analyze what will be the conversion and so on, what additional information is required. So if we consider a simple reaction, A gives B, and the reaction is exothermic, the reactor is operated adiabatically. So as a result, as the reaction is exothermic, the temperature will increase with the conversion along with the length of the reactor if I am considering plug flow reactor. So design equations, dxa by dv is equal to minus Ra by Fa0 for integral reactor, that is for plug flow reactor. Here you will integrate and you can solve further. The rate law is minus Ra is equal to Kca. We are considering it as a first order reaction. From stoichiometry for liquid phase, we know Fa0 is equal to V0 Ca0 and Ca is equal to Ca0 into 1 minus Xa. So this dxa by dv, that is minus Ra by Fa0, Fa0 can be written as V0 Ca0, and minus Ra is Kca, Ca is replaced by Ca0 into 1 minus Xa, Ca0, Ca0 will cancel out. So dxa by dv can be written as K into 1 minus Xa by V0. Arrhenius equation for temperature dependence of this rate constant, let us say K1. So rate constant K1 into e raised to e by r 1 upon T1 minus 1 upon T, or if you write minus e by r, it will be 1 upon T minus 1 upon T1. So if you know the value, you can find out the rate constant value at any temperature using Arrhenius equation. So your rate law becomes now minus Ra into Kca. So here you will have Ca term minus Ra Kca. So K is this expression K1 into all this, and Ca is Ca0 into 1 minus Xa. So your design equation now becomes dxa by dv minus Ra K1 exponential e by r into bracket 1 upon T1 minus 1 upon T, and that multiplied by Ca0 into 1 minus Xa. And this is minus Ra by Fa0. So Ca0 into V0, Ca0 will cancel out, and you are left with this design equation where the temperature dependence of the rate constant K is taken care of. So here, in order to solve this, we know we need another relationship related to which will relate Xa and T. Xa and T. Here we have this Arrhenius relationship relating K and T, but no relation for Xa and T. So we have to check this out, and or temperature and the volume. Volume means along the length of the reactor to solve this reaction. And we have to consider energy balance equations, and energy balance will provide us this relationship. So this is the additional information we need. That is, we need to consider energy balance that should give us some relationship between conversion and temperature. So we'll see energy balance equations. Now these things are, again we are going to our fundamentals of thermodynamics. Now thermodynamics you must have studied in detail in your chemical engineering thermodynamics, so we will not go into any details, but only again look into the essential information or fundamentals from thermodynamics which we need to write and understand our energy balance equations and further calculations for reactor design. So molar flow rates Fi and Fi0 in moles per hour, molar enthalpies Hi and Hi0 for in terms of joules per mole. So Hi into Fi will give you joules per hour or calories per hour, minute, second, whatever the units. So energy per unit time. If we consider A moles of A plus B moles of B giving C moles of C and D moles of D, and divide throughout by this stoichiometric coefficient small a of the reactant A. So we can write it as A plus B by A into B, giving you C by A into C plus D by A into D. Now summation of this energy term, joules per hour, energy per unit time, Hi0 into Fi0, that can be written as this I is a counter, you can say, from for A, B, C, D, and inerts, if inerts are there, I term, capital I. So this is A, B, C, D, and I. So Ha0 Fa0 plus Fb0 Hb0 plus Fc0 Hc0 plus Fd0 Hd0 plus Fi0 Hi0. This is inert. summation of HIFI, you can write again. I denotes A, B, C, D and I. So HIFA plus HBFB plus HCFC plus HDFD plus HIFI. Now we know FA is equal to FA0 into 1 minus XA. And this I can write in terms of this I. Fi will be equal to FA0 into theta I plus nu I into XA. So again, this is a generalized equation for any value of I. I is again A, B, C, D and I. So this theta I is nothing but Fi0 by Fa0. So for A is Fa0 by Fa0. So this will be 1. For theta B, Fb0 by Fa0, theta C, Fc0 by Fa0 and so on. And this theta I will be Fi by Fa0 for inerts. So for inerts, Fi is theta I by theta I into Fa0. So we can write Fa we know. Similarly, now I can write Fb as Fa0 into theta b minus b by axa. Fc, this Fa0 into theta c plus c by a, and Fd0, Fa0 into theta d plus d by a. So here you can see for C and D being formed, we have plus sign, and B being consumed, we have minus sign. A is also consumed, so we have minus sign here. So this is nothing but this represents this equation. So replace I by B, FB, theta B, and this VI is B by A. If you replace by C, we will have theta C, C by A. Replace by D, theta D plus D by A. So this is the equation which we have already written. So summation of Hi0 Fi0 and summation of HIFI we know. So if we subtract this, all these with the plus sign, so A, B, C, D and I terms, and all A, B, C, D and I terms with minus sign for this Fi, Hi. So HIFA and so on. So this I can write now HAFA, HA into FA. So FA, FB, FC, FD and this Fi we can replace by this. Okay, FA is FA0 into 1 minus XB. FB is Fa0 into theta B minus B by XA. FC theta C plus C by A. FD theta D plus D by A and minus HI theta I 0. We know theta I is theta into Fa0 is Fi. So Hi into Fi, this term. So this we have written. Now if we solve this, simplify this, you can write Fa0. Here we have Ha0 Fa0 term, and here with minus sign Fa0 into Ha. So Fa0 is common, Ha0 minus Ha. Similarly, you get this Hb0 minus Hb, Hc0 minus Hc, Hd0 minus Hd and Hi0 minus Hi. And here we have all these terms. So this theta b is coming from here. We have minus Hb Fa0 into theta b. So this minus Hb theta b Fa0. So similarly all these terms you can collect, and also we have these terms with minus sign. So minus d by a Hd into Fa0 So Fa0 is common, we have taken outside the bracket. Then minus sign with plus C by A. So plus C by A. This minus sign we have with minus B by A. So minus B by A. And this minus sign here with XA only. XA is outside. So HA, XA, Fa0 and XA is written outside and is minus HA. So we can write this summation of Fi0 Hi0 minus summation of Fi Hi as this equation. So what we have done, we have collected the terms for thetas, that is theta b, theta c, theta d and theta I, and also collected these terms d by a, c by a, b by a, and this is a by a, that is 1, and this Fa0 XA term is taken outside. So we have just rearranged the terms. All the enthalpies HA or HB are evaluated at the reference temperature at the outlet system volume and subsequently the heat of reaction at specific temperature T. So Q is the heat flow term. Heat may be supplied or being removed. So Q with minus or plus sign accordingly. So this H delta HRX at any temperature T can be found out with this relationship. If you know this HA, HB, HC, HD at that particular temperature. So D by A into HD plus C by A into HC minus B by A into HB minus HA. So we can find out delta HR. Then Fi0 Hi0 summation minus Fi Hi, our earlier term. So this Fa0 theta I Hi0 Fi. Now look at this equation. This Fa0 Ha0 minus Ha, Hb0 minus Hb and so on. So Fa0 theta I minus Hi. So we can write that term. And we have this term here minus D by A and so on into Fa0 XA. So that term is replaced by this term. Okay. So minus delta HR X at T into Fa0 XA. So theta I Hi0, theta I Hi with minus sign. So all these terms we have considered and we can write the balance. Now when we write the steady state energy balance equation, it is Q minus S. S is work done. Usually in our cases this will be 0. Q may be 0 or may be positive or negative value, and we will see the cases. For adiabatic operations it will be 0. And this is energy balance equation. Q minus Ws plus sigma Fi0 Hi0 minus sigma or summation of Fi Hi is equal to 0. Now we can write this equation as Q minus Ws plus Fa0 summation of theta I Hi0 minus Hi, this equation. So this is replaced by this minus delta HRX at T into Fa0 XA is equal to 0. So heat of reaction at any temperature can be found out with this delta HRX at T will be equal to delta HR0 Rx at some reference temperature plus, so if at reference temperature you know this value, you can find out at any temperature, So this delta HRX0 at a reference temperature plus delta Cp T minus Tr. So delta Cp is again d by a Cp of d, C by a Cp of C minus b by a Cp of b minus Cp of a. So we'll see example. Calculate the heat of reaction for the synthesis of ammonia from hydrogen and nitrogen at 150 degrees Celsius in kilocalorie per mole of nitrogen reacted and also in kilojoule per mole of hydrogen reacted. So reaction is nitrogen plus 3 moles of hydrogen gives you 2 moles of ammonia. Enthalpies of formation at 25 degrees Celsius are given as for ammonia minus 11,020 calories per mole and for nitrogen and hydrogen 0. So delta HRX of Tr is 2 times, that is formation side ammonia, minus 3 times enthalpy associated with hydrogen minus associated with nitrogen. So here the stoichiometric coefficient is 1, here stoichiometric coefficient is 3 and here stoichiometric coefficient is 2. So N2 plus 3H2 giving you 2NH3, that is ammonia. So this is 2 into, for nitrogen and hydrogen it is 0 and for ammonia it is 11,020. So at reference temperature 25 degree Celsius, this will be minus 22,040 calories per mole of ammonia reacted. Reaction is exothermic and if heat capacities are constant or if the mean heat capacities over the range of 25 degrees Celsius to 150 degrees Celsius are readily available, the determination of heat of reaction at 150 is quite simple. Specific heats of hydrogen, nitrogen and ammonia are given in calories per mole with these values respectively. So delta Cp 2 into 8.92 ammonia, 3 into 6.992, that is for hydrogen, and minus 6.984, stoichiometric coefficient is 1, that is for nitrogen. So delta Cp is minus 10.12 calories per mole of nitrogen reacted. So delta HRX you can find out 273 plus 150, that is 423 Kelvin, minus 22,040 plus delta Cp T minus Tr. So delta Cp T minus Tr reference temperature is 25, that is 298 K and this is 150. So it is found out to be minus 23.305 kilocalorie per mole. Okay. If you multiply this by 4.184, it comes out to be 97.5. So in kilojoules per mole of nitrogen reacted. Okay. And per mole of hydrogen reacted, that will be this divided by 3 stoichiometric coefficient. So it comes out to be this divided by 3 and that is, or 97.5 divided by 3, 32.5 kilojoule per mole of hydrogen reacted. Okay. So you can see these values we have found out in the desired units. Okay. Now we'll look into the, for adiabatic conditions, few important equations we'll be using further, and these equations we have taken up from thermodynamics. This you have already studied in detail. Only we'll pick up the equations which are useful for us directly in case of non-isothermal reactor design, and particularly to obtain the proper energy balance equations and the relationship between conversion and the temperature. So Hi at any temperature T will be equal to standard value reference temperature Hi0 Tr plus integral Tr to T Cpi dt. So Hi of T and Hi0 of T, if you write, so difference between this Hi T and Hi0 of T. Hi of T we know this as it is minus Hi0 of T, which will be Hi into Tr plus this limits will change now Tr to Ti0 Cpi into dt. Okay. Now what will we do? This Hi at reference temperature, Hi at reference temperature, same value with minus sign and with plus sign, so that will cancel out. Cpi dt Tr to T with plus sign, Cpi dt Tr to T with plus sign, as it is I have written. This minus sign I will change it to plus and change the order of integration from Ti0 to Tr. So this, instead of this minus, this is plus, and Ti0 to Tr, order of integration changes, this you know. And if you add this together now, this is Ti0 to Tr and this is Tr to T, means lower limit to upper limit, in between this will cancel out. So Ti0 to T Cpi dt integral T, and this is T minus Ti0. So Cpi into T minus Ti0. So our Hi of T minus Hi0 of T will be simply Cpi T minus Ti0, these values. Okay, so this is the equation. Now again we will consider our general energy balance equation. Q minus Ws plus Fa0 into summation of theta I into bracket Hi0 minus Hi minus delta Hrx at temperature T into Fa0 Xa is equal to 0. So this term delta Hrx at some temperature, we will write this as delta Hrx at any temperature, can be found out if you know delta Hrx at some reference temperature and you know delta Cp, you can find out. So delta Cp T minus Tr, where Tr is the reference temperature. So if I replace this in the energy balance equation here, so this delta Hrx T, this term is replaced by this complete term, which I have written in the bracket multiplied by Fa0 Xa. Q minus Ws. Now this we have plus sign Fa0 theta I Hi0 minus Hi. Here we have seen this term here Hi of T minus Hi0 of T. So Hi minus Hi0, that is equal to Cpi T minus Ti0. So here it is Hi0 minus Hi, and here we have Hi minus Hi0. So I will change the sign to minus sign. So we get here minus Fa0. I am replacing Hi minus Hi0 now with minus sign. So it is theta I Cpi T minus Ti0, and second term we know. Now in almost all the systems which we are going to study, the reactants will be mostly entering the system at the same temperature. So your Ti0 value will be same as T0 value. So Ti0 is equal to T0, and if it is same, then this Ti0 can be written as T0 only. So we know our general energy balance equation, Q minus Ws minus Fa0 theta I CPI T minus Ti0 minus delta HR at reference temperature plus delta Cp T minus Tr into Fa0 XA, that is equal to 0. So for adiabatic conditions and this Ws is work done on the system term, this will be negligible, so this is 0. For adiabatic operation, Q is equal to 0. So this goes, and if I solve this for XA, so we have this complete bracket multiplied by Fa0 and this also multiplied by Fa0. So Fa0 also can be cancelled out because on right hand side we have 0. And so XA will be simply equal to this minus sign transfer on other side. So sigma theta I CPI T minus T0. So Ti0 is equal to T0, that we know. And this term transferred in the denominator. So minus sign delta HRX0 at reference temperature plus delta Cp T minus Tr. So that this complete bracket is transferred on other side in the denominator. So in many instances we will have the case where delta Cp T minus Tr term in the denominator is negligible as compared to this term. Okay, so we will have simply this term and this term. So plot of XA versus T will be usually linear, that is straight line. Now we'll see the adiabatic tubular reactor. Here again the energy balance equation, will solve it for the temperatures as a function of conversion, which we were interested in. So this is our general equation. Okay, this Ti0 can be written as T0. So this is 0, this is 0. Fa0 and Fa0 can be cancelled out, and we have now minus sign theta I CPI T minus Ti0 is written as T0. So I have written this separately. Summation of theta I CPI into T with minus sign, minus minus plus, summation of theta I CPI T0 minus delta HRX TR into XA minus, this is plus, so minus T minus delta Cp T into XA minus minus plus delta Cp Tr into XA is equal to 0. So here we have T term and here we have T term. So both will transfer on other side, so become plus sign, and then this T is on this side, and we will transfer the common terms now theta I CPI into T and this delta Cp XA into T. So both positive signs and T is taken out. So this terms goes in the denominator, and on this side as it is, these terms will remain minus delta HR TR XA. This term will remain plus theta I CPI T0. This term will remain plus delta Cp TR into XA. So all these terms will remain here. So by solving for T, general energy balance equation, earlier we have solved for XA, now we solved for T. So we get a relationship. Okay, as you go on changing this XA value, temperature you can find out. Earlier we had this equation, change the temperature, find out the value of XA. So if you use pure A, delta Cp will be equal to 0. So this equation will reduce to this becomes 0, this becomes 0. So in the numerator we have only these two terms, and in the denominator you are using pure A, so only A is there, so this will be 1 and CPI is CPA. So this can be written as CPA cancels out T0 plus this term minus delta HRX of TR into XA divided by CPA. So we can write these equations for adiabatic tubular reactor. So we'll stop here today, and in our next lecture we will study the further topics and will solve few problems based on this non-isothermal reactor operation studied so far.